Welcome back to Studio One Vintage Guitars, New Zealand's home of vintage guitars. My name is Nick Brightwell, and in my hands we have our real deal D-18. This is our 1937 D-18, serial number 66727. It's a sad day in a way in the shop. This guitar has been sold, and it's going back home. It's going back to America. So we thought, as soon as we got the news that this had been sold, I immediately grabbed it out of its case and started playing it. We decided that we'd do a little video to send it off because we've had this instrument just shy of a year now. It's a very, very special guitar, and it's really been a great ambassador for Martin guitars and pre-war vintage Martin guitars. This guitar has been seen by most customers that have come into the shop. Eventually we would say, do you want to see the 180 grand guitar? And they go, yeah. And some people can't understand why a guitar would be that much money. So it's a great opportunity to kind of talk about vintage guitars and talk about how there's only so many of these and that they're very desirable instruments, and tell the story of Martin guitars. And yeah, so it's a sad day. I think I've said in a few videos that I try not to play a lot of the stock that we have. I try not to play them too much because I generally start to like them. So I could say that I've played this guitar kind of on and off. Once a month or so when people come along to check it out, I'll play it a little bit. But really haven't played it a lot, just very, very mindful. You don't want to bond with an instrument like this because then you're like, oh, now I've got to get a 1937 D-18. The good news is what we found out when we did the comparison videos, is that the authentic series of these are still very, very close. So actually I spend all my time playing the D-18 authentic that we still have in stock. We've had 4 originally, and now we just have the 1, so I play that all day. Switching from that to this, you immediately hear that beautiful vintage tone. Just a couple of G's to send her out. Recently I took this one's sibling up north. If you remember, we had this is 66727. We also had 667 number 30, so very close. The main difference between those two instruments is the other one had a bit of damage and had a refin, and it was a very interesting process to compare these two guitars, one being all original and one being a refinish. Surprising, kind of my opinion after that, was having a refinished guitar isn't the end of the world, because at times it felt like the refin guitar you could play a little bit harder, you had a little bit more resistance in the instrument. But what else can I say about this? The other interesting thing about this guitar was, from my understanding, this instrument was under a bed for a very, very long time. So it's definitely been played, but hasn't been played extensively. And I think the exciting thing for the new owner of this guitar is that they're purchasing a 1937 D-18 that has been played, but it hasn't been played, I don't think it's been played professionally and heavily, so there's still a lot of opening up in this instrument to go. I think the top can still open up some more, so that's a very exciting prospect. But yeah, I think really kind of lost for words. It's a bit sad to see it go. We're going to pack her up and send her off tomorrow. I should say that we have the original case with it as well, so the owner is getting all original with a replaced bridge, of course, but also getting the original case that's in very good condition. So one more for the road. So cheers guys, have a good time. If you like this content, please like, subscribe and share. My name is Nick Brightwell. Thank you very much, Studio One Vintage Guitars. Sayonara. Hasta la vista, as they say. Cheers, guys.